ground. Feel the pain all around. Keep the love in your heart and hold your head high. Harbor no hate.
Welcome to the Let That Go show with Kassira McKee and Richard Skipper. This show is based on Kassira's book, Let That Go, where she guides people in completely blessing and releasing people, places, and all kinds of things. Kassira and Richard share personal insights and experiences based on concepts in Kassira's book, with guests and you, their co-hosts. Are you ready to let that go? Let's go.
Hello, Kassira.
Hello.
You this evening?
Great. You look fantastic.
Oh, thank you. I'm in the Christmas mood.
That ball is just a traveling around your head.
Yes, it goes. Today was really good. I got my newsletter in early today, so that's done, so that I don't have to worry about that after tonight's show. It's scheduled to go out at midnight. I went to Piermont today for their Christmas festival. It was fun. I just had a really wonderful day. I feel really good. But I do want to say something very quickly because Sherry Callahan, thank you, Sherry, for being here. And thank you. I see from postings that you've been keeping everyone up to date with what's been going on with the shows and everything. I reactivated my account for just a brief moment tonight because someone spammed my Richard Skipper events page, and they're posting all these notices about celebrities who have passed on, who have actually not passed on. So it's just some evil out there trying to get in there. But so I went on for a few minutes just to delete those tonight and to report them. So that's my story. That's what I'm letting go of.
I really love the overlay today.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Who did this?
Well, I found it searching the internet.
I love it.
This Wednesday night, as you know, is the full moon for December. This is the cold moon. You also refer to it as the Noel moon.
It's a Noel moon, yes, as well.
It's the cold moon because we are now about to go into winter. Tonight, Wednesday night will be the longest that the moon will be visible in the sky before we head towards the winter solstice. And the days, once we get over that hump of it being the shortest day of the year, everything starts to elongate once again. But we've got somebody special waiting in the wings.
My brother, probably my husband from 3 other lives. I don't know.
Well, mine too. I think yes. It's possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah,
but Erron, I am so thrilled that you were here tonight to take us on this journey with the full moon. What are you experiencing now with the full moon in our direction?
Well, the research that I've done for this moon is very interesting. It ties in closely. Kassira and I had a nice conversation about the different traditions, and I'm looking at the actual aspects, and they tie in so closely. It's interesting because we have this full moon is, of course, in Gemini, and it'll be at 16 degrees Gemini. We also have a little bit of energy behind it. And what I mean is, like, if you have you seen those ball things that they hang on the desk and they click clacks? Okay. So you know the force it takes to hit that ball and get it going. There is another energy called Mars. It's in retrograde and it's right behind it. So it's banging that between us and the sun and Earth and the moon and Mars. And we're sort of in that little bit of a smash, bang, smash 'em up sort of thing. The sun, of course, will be at 16 degrees of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is our mystic teacher, our teacher of nature, of the laws of nature, of the laws of freedom, natural freedom, not a contrived freedom that we have. But if we look in nature, we see that a tree may be free to thrive in another area, and a different kind free to thrive in another area. And then, of course, they have their own ecosystems, and all that's very natural, and they blend beautifully, especially if you'll notice it if you travel up a mountain. I grew up in Tucson, and so, you go up from a desert, from the Sonoran Desert level, and as you travel up the mountain, you start to see different layers and stratifications of vegetation. And it's always fascinating to us because, you have the saguaro cactus at the bottom. At the top, you have the pine trees. And if you go up high enough, you have no trees. So these are the kind of layers that we're dealing with this full moon. There's another player here that I'll just throw into the mix that caught my eye. And that's an aspect called Black Moon Lilith. And she's actually
we talked about her in my chart last night. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. Very interesting and revealing. Now, of course, she's freedom loving too. Okay? She demands that the natural law be honored, not the patriarchal law or whatever it is. She says, no, I'm not going to do this game that you guys are playing. There's a thing going on that must be acknowledged. And she says, here's what's going to happen. She shows us that card. Here's what's going to happen. I'll say if you mess with me, but that's not it. If you go this route, if you take this negative route. So, we see this freedom, this desire for freedom, this will be shown this freedom. Of course, the full moon is always the moment when we get up to the top and wow, that's it. And we exhale all of that out. We can look back over our last 2 weeks from the new moon and see what we've intended or planted, or what's been planted for us. We have to put that in there because sometimes we're not making an active intention, but somebody else is, and we may not be aware of what they're intending. We have people in charge of other things that are doing things for us with family, friends, neighbors, work, whatever. And sometimes we just simply don't know that those weeds have been planted in our garden until the full moon reveals them. So revealing, wow, is that where we are really? Okay, so we can make a particular change if we have to. If we like where we're going, we can continue planting the seeds in that direction, I'll say.
So Sherry asked if you want to answer her, and also Dee said something. Actually, Dee, Danielle, I'm sorry, I keep calling you Dee just because it's easy. Danielle says Neptune just went direct as well. And but Sherry said, isn't Mars in retrograde in Gemini?
Yes, it is in
Yes,
Gemini.
He already stated that. Yeah.
It's going to be at 16 degrees of Gemini, and the moon will also be at 16 degrees of Gemini. And the sun, of course, is opposite at 16 degrees of Sagittarius. So we have those two Gemini. When you put the moon retrograde, when you put it near Gemini, Mars, I'm sorry. When Mars is in Gemini retrograde, it's like that little bouncing ball bouncing around. Pong or whatever we want to call it. And
pinball machine.
But it's more like a hall of mirrors. We're seeing all these sides of us that we didn't know, Oh my God, is my slip showing? And you see it from that one mirror in the fun house.
And I like the word slip.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
I enjoy Black Lilith. Because of our conversations we've had about her. She reminds me, she gets me back to I am. She reminds me, she's a reminder for me.
Yeah.
She reminds me, okay, you're not feeling good. You're not liking this. Hello. She knocks on my door and says, you're not liking this. You're not feeling well. And it's usually from the empathy. It's usually what causes any physical thing that I've got going on is usually empathy.
Yeah.
And we talked last night about the fact that this moon has a lot of different names, depending on which Native American tribe you ask. It's got a lot of names, which I find fascinating. And I find it fascinating. It's so this particular, I mean, they're all important to Native Americans, let's be honest, yet also for Druids, this moon is important because it is right before Noel this year. It's before Noel, and which is a good sign, I understand. We were talking last night about how a deeper meaning, more spiritual meaning for this moon is it's a time for retrospection and introspection. It's a time that we get this little spiritual window that we can begin to look back over the last year and everything we've co-created. All of what we feel were successes, things we didn't feel successful at. I had a very interesting year. There were a lot of changes in my life in the last year that I co-created. And then we also get to go within, and we get to look at our options. We get to look at all the options and all the possibilities. This is a good time to start setting intentions. I don't like the word resolutions, people. Sorry, I don't like New Year's resolutions. I think it's a really great way to set yourself up for some sort of, I don't like the word failure, but set yourself up for disappointment. Oh, I made this resolution last year and I didn't get it done. Well, then don't make them. Make some intentions.
That's what I do. I like to refer to it as intentions, but the thing is that, it's like the old expression, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And I think that a lot of people at this time of year, there's something that happens within a lot of people where they begin to look back at the past year, either with regret or with excitement of where they've come in the last year. If we all sit down and we all meditate and think about the past year in all of our lives, it will really amaze everybody. I don't care who you are, with how much gets accomplished over a 12-month period. And the fact that we divide our lives, and it's going through life, we divide our lives into seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, and then a year. And we do this, and it's these constant reminders that are going on, rather than being in the moment of where we are and working through these moments, so that we are all, rather than trying to go, my resolution is to lose 45 pounds, for example, rather than thinking in those terms of making intentions for a shorter period of time, for like 9 weeks or 13 weeks, and then re-examine where we are, because I believe in doing introspection and retrospection on a daily basis.
Yeah, very good. One day at a time. I'd like to say quickly, you just jarred something for me. Sagittarius, the sign of the traveler, the teacher. And it's interesting, I would say the reporter even, we can say that this time of the year, we always feel like we have to gather our notes so that we can report them. And typically it's to the family that we're going to be gathering with. And so it does happen at this time every year. And it's just a natural cycle, whether we're in the North Hemisphere or the Southern Hemisphere, where, in the Southern Hemisphere, they're gathering for summer, and they would be getting together with friends and probably discussing what happened over campfires. Here, we're going to be discussing what happened around fireplaces, probably. That fire.
Maybe.
Maybe, you're right.
Or booze. Lots of booze.
Whatever.
I'll take our fireplace.
What is it? What is it I posted on Facebook? Our wine pairs well with turkey and relatives. And, I can't remember what I posted. It was really funny. May I indulge you in reading you guys your horoscope for this new moon?
Sure.
This moon?
I love that.
Okay, Mr. Aquarius, are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's time to make some tricky decisions. New energies and thought patterns are going to be presenting themselves to you. And while they might seem tempting at first, you must really break them down to see whether they suit you better than the path you are already on. We know you're onto new things. And I am too, kind of with you. We're working it out. Okay, Mr. Pisces.
Here.
You can see why we're all friends.
Yeah.
In a minute, we're all water
Pisces
people.
is right after Aquarius.
Yep. Try not to let others irritate you, Pisces. You're likely going to find yourself a little more combative than usual, and the people around you, especially in the workplace, are going to rub you the wrong way. While relaxing may be easier said than done, keep the peace for a few days and things will simmer down.
Yep.
I was supposed to be a Leo and was born 6 weeks early. So I've got a little Leo in me. There's some Leo in here. I am a Cancerian with a Scorpio rising and moon in Aquarius.
That's me.
But I'm actually my rising and my moon are on cusps. So I'm actually 5 different signs. That explains it. Okay, shall I read mine?
Yes, please.
Okay. Chances for real spiritual nourishment will be appearing for some of you this full moon, but don't misconstrue this as a major change in your outlook. Look for opportunities to get yourself back to where you were and where you must be, but don't beat yourself up for not going beyond that yet. Yeah, patience. Patience for me. Patience for me. Let's see. Ask Cassira to read Virgo. Well, okay, baby. Not a problem. Does anybody else want me to read something for them? Virgo? Okay. It's time to do some pondering, Virgo. Relax, reflect, and allow yourself to wind down. Your working life may get a little frantic, but that's okay. Stay as zen as you can be and write out the stresses that seem to be creeping up. Stresses really means you're overcommitted. So I'm going to reword this just the way I like it. Stay as zen as you can be and write out the overcommitments that seem to be creeping up around others as the year draws to a close.
Wow.
Anyone else?
There we go.
Anyone else? Alan?
So, Erron, I want to ask you a personal question.
Okay.
Because I see this energy that I get from you seems to be so even keeled. Is there anything that sets you off at this time of year?
Well, things set him off all the time. He's only human.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying from what I experience in the little time that we have here.
Right.
I'm gonna say right now he's a balancer. He balances me out.
Mm-hmm.
He balances out the environment. Now I'm gonna shut up, but go ahead.
What sets me off? There are a lot of little things that set me off. You know, they set me into a particular. Okay, Pisces. A lot of people don't know this, but they tend towards a violent kind of outburst sort of thing, and we have to be very careful about that. We also tend towards the alcohol. You know, it's a Neptune rule sign. It's also a Jupiter rule sign. So Jupiter expands. Neptune is like the illusion and delusion. So sometimes those become overwhelming. They take us out of, you know, our balance and out of our sense of self, because sometimes we don't know our sense of self. And sometimes I've been so absorbed into somebody else's issue that I can take on their particular outburst. Now, I can also, you know, relax it all just like you would relax a wave. Thanks to the Aquarius and the Taurus, you know, that are prevalent, I can distance myself from these things pretty easily sometimes. But some of it is just releasing. I have to say to myself, okay, you know, Erron, intuitively, because you already have heard it 10 minutes ago. You heard you're not going to be able to finish this project right now. Just set it aside. But typically it's me not responding to that voice that really sets me off. When I do respond, I will push things aside, clear it out, and sit there and wait, and then watch the flood come in, handle it, and then deal with the other stuff later. And people are like, "You're crazy. How come you?" Well, Spirit told me to stop what I was doing. Stop, because you're going to get frustrated if you keep going. You want to finish this project, whatever it might be, but you're not gonna, because we have something else for you to do. So I say we when I refer to Spirit. I say we because it's the collective of all that is. And so that's the thing that really gets me, is when I find myself hearing that voice and not responding. So I make it a practice to try to actively remember that, listen and respond. Okay, oh, you said that. Okay, can we do it slightly different? A little conversation I have inside my head. And in fact, I drew some cards and some runes for us tonight, and they all kind of say the same thing that we've been saying.
Well, I have a question. This full moon is in Sagittarius?
Yes.
Okay, I just pulled this card, and it says to see the bigger picture.
Yep.
And interestingly enough, as I was going through these cards, this was the very last card in the deck.
Wow.
I mean, it just came up as the last card.
Wow.
So, and then I'm going to, while you're talking about, I'm going to pull from these cards and see what comes up as well.
Tell us what kinds of cards these are.
These are...
these
are called Moonology cards.
Okay.
And they are from Yasmin Boland, who is an astrologer from Australia, who I follow. I love her. So I've got 2 decks of these cards, and I'm going go with your reading as I pull up the next card.
Let me okay, can I hang on a second? Can I fulfill Alan's wish to read Gemini?
Yeah, please.
Okay, Gemini, prepare to be in demand, but maybe not in the way you'd imagined. People are going to be opening up to you left, right, and center. And while it may feel great to be so needed, they say needed, I like to say required. Don't let it get in the way of your own requirements. Give yourself time for reflection, even if it means you have to turn people down. Here you go, Alan. Go ahead. Okay, Go ahead.
Gemini busy. Yep. So this deck is from Kyle Gray, Angels and Ancestors Oracle Cards Guidebook, and it looks like that. And the card that fell out of the deck, which is my favorite way of pulling a card, is the snake.
Oh my God!
Okay, see,
that's why I'm saying this because
of what you read, that the person that hacked your Facebook page.
All of the postings were about these giant snakes.
Oh my gosh!
Okay. Wow.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That somebody wrote to me and said your account has been hacked, and I went in there, and in addition to all the death notices, are these giant snakes that are eating people. They're bizarre posts, but my page was full of them. I must have deleted 25 postings about snakes tonight.
Amazing. So I would say Spirit is trying to connect with you, and you're finding it an annoying way to connect with you through the Facebook. But Spirit says, it's the way to get your attention, hon. I got to get your attention. Look.
But what does this card say, darling?
It's telling me to shed my old skin, which is what I'm doing.
Yep.
I love it.
And here,
I noticed you looked a little rough around here.
Yes.
If you notice,
I'm just kidding.
If you notice the mandala in the background behind the snake, it is a sacred geometry. Can you see it there in the blue and white?
Yes.
Circle? Yeah. Sacred geometry. Now, that to me is like the construct of everything. Sometimes when I, in certain meditative states, see all these geometries, and I'm like, oh, that's boring. But that's the construct. Is everything has a particular geometry, and just you build on what works, and that works. The simplicity of it. Now, the meaning, of course. Let's see. And here's the weird thing: was I pulled from this book, and I pulled a card from the other one, a rune, and both of the interpretations are on page 131 in each book. I was like, wow, okay, that's all right. Wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
Go with it. Yeah. Which says to me, the number can be analyzed one way. But the fact that in one book it's 130, the interpretation is in 131, and in the other it's 131, it says to me, okay, this is angel talk, we used to call it. This is something, just wake up. We got a message for you. Keep an eye out for 131, wherever you see it in the world. I want you to follow that path, follow the geometry of that path. And we got something for you. We want you to be in a certain place at a certain time, and we'll share with you the function once you get there. So,
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
Okay.
on this one, of course, shed your old skin says cast off the old, reveal your true colors, talents, and gifts to the world. And then, of course, it talks about snakes having, in many spiritual traditions, the snake offers powerful medicine. In tantric teachings, it symbolizes the kundalini, which is the powerful serpentine energy within, the energy within that allows you to reach your highest spiritual potential.
Oh my God. Erron just posted this. Look at this.
131 is Carol Channing's birthday.
Whoa. Okay, I got chills on that one. Whoa. Okay.
And I'm letting go of that skin.
Thank you, Erron. Wow.
Wow. Erron, you're on the ball tonight. There she is. But for me, I mean, that number, 131. Wow.
Interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll follow that little bouncing ball. I can show the rune. It has a similar message from a different modality. Of course, the rune is the Book of Runes by Ralph H. Blum. You've seen this. Of course, I have it bookmarked like crazy here.
I have that. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in here.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in my collection, but I have that book. Yeah. And I'm letting you take care of the runes tonight, and I have cards for you.
It looks like the letter R, and of course, all I have to do is turn to page 131 for the interpretation.
Hello. Thank you, Carol.
Yeah. This is, wow, that blows me away. So this is Rido, which is journey, communication, union, and reunion, which is apropos for this time of the year. This rune is concerned with communication, with the attunement of something that has two sides, two elements, and with the ultimate union that comes at the end of a journey, when what is above and what is below are united and of one mind. Inner worth mounts here. And at such a time, you are not intended to rely entirely upon your own power. Instead, ask what the constituents right action. Okay, ask through prayer or meditation, through addressing the witness self, the teacher within. And once you are clear, you can neutralize your refusal to let right action flow through you. So this is a little bit of seeking, but since we don't know, we reflect back, which is a Gemini thing. The twin can always look at the other twin and say, did you get that? Oh yeah, I got that, So we reflect back to our higher self. Oh, look at the twins there. My God.
That is hysterical. I love it. Both of you got those wigs on, baby. I love it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Those are all gone. Wow.
Shall I jump in?
Please.
Who doesn't love Doreen Virtue? I love Doreen Virtue. And I just felt a requirement. I felt a desire to pull something fun, yet they do have meanings. I have her mermaid cards, mermaids and dolphins. And here's the three I pulled. Okay. Explore your options.
Oh, okay.
This ring light is not helping.
Well, it's an aura.
It's time to look at other possibilities. It's a good time to make changes. And there's a turtle in the picture, and I love turtles. Turtles and frogs. So whoever that speaks to, hear me. The second one I pulled is synchronicity. Your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase their flow. and it's two dolphins over a nest of crystals.
There's a comment here from Danielle.
Yeah, we're aware of that. She's
Yeah, I know she has.
gone.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid, Danielle.
Yeah,
I'm good.
it's interesting
I'm good.
that she renounces Christ and Christ. She renounces.
No,
let's not get it.
Christ. Yeah,
yeah.
I had it backwards.
Yeah, but
And-
I'm not afraid.
Yeah,
And then here's the one I really love. It's Dream Big, and I'm a mermaid person because my Orisha is Yemaya, and one of the examples of Yemaya is a mermaid, and I have a little mermaid altar on my fireplace. Let go of small thoughts about yourself. See yourself succeeding. And it's just a picture of a little mermaid.
Oh.
Can't really see it well.
I think your filter makes it blurry because it doesn't see.
Oh, no. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to pull an angel card. These are from my little bitty, it's an angel power deck. Yeah. So Danielle, her past work has nothing to do with what I feel she's doing now. It doesn't have anything to do with it for me. She said, I just meant you don't need her around. Well, I don't, the people that know me well, I don't need anybody around, really. I'm kind of a fly by the seat of my pants solo kind of gal, but I do have lovely partnerships, and these two men I do have lovely partnerships with. Okay, here's the first one. Harmony grows from a heart knowing it is protected. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I like that one. The stars, these are angel cards. The stars sparkle with a message from the angels for you. Oh, that's why I love these cards. They're just kind of feel-good cards, Okay, here's the third one. The power of transformation takes away the old and gives the new. Ooh, that's a good one for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an adult angel holding the hand of a little bitty baby angel. Oh, you can't see it in the picture.
No.
I'm a Cancerian, so the moon is my ruling planet, and I have been feeling this moon coming up since it was new, and I've been feeling my own stuff. I've been seeing things and feeling stuff, and looking at it, and I've talked to Erron about it, and we agree that here's the thing. This isn't the, astrology or anything going on with the planets isn't necessarily the law of life. It's what we do with the information, correct?
Mm-hmm. Amen.
And so, if we know that there's a collective thing going on, which it is really, really happening with this moon, a collective consciousness thing, there may be some anger and there may be some outbursts. And knowing that going into this week, I'm going to keep my mouth as shut as tight as I can keep it around other people, because I think I pick and choose my battles, yet I was reminded this week that other people are picking battles with me. So, and it happens. It happens.
Right.
And the only thing I can do, I don't know about you, but the only thing I can do is protect myself. Know I'm protected. And, I can just protect myself and go within myself, which I've done, and just crawl into my little crab shell until it's all over. Until this way, I'm sorry.
Your
I
turtle
apologize.
shell.
Until this wave is over, and then get ready for the next wave. Kind of like a crab on a surfboard.
Right.
Riding this big wave and then, floating around and doing my thing and then getting ready for the next big wave. How do you feel, Erron, about how does it speak to you, this reflection and this retrospection or do you don't have to answer the question. I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I had a thought that, of course, Black Moon Lilith shows us the fear, shows us. And remember, she's in Cancer. Cancer is the mother. Cancer is very nurturing, mothering. And it might say, she might be saying, are you nurturing enough? And we know that, you, like you say, you pick and choose your battles, but do you pick and choose your opportunities to nurture?
I was asking you how you felt about you, Erron.
Oh, how I feel about me. Oh. Okay. Yeah.
I'm saying, what does it say to you personally?
So me personally, well, first of all, I'm blown away, of course, and I love it when we get into alignment. I'll say when we come into the like Abraham Hicks likes to say, into the vortex, because we see these treasures, and I just love them, like the 131, which blows me away still. And I'm looking here on the chart, like, is it where? Do I see it someplace? I don't know yet, but it'll be a little trail to follow. And it, another part of this is reflecting back a little bit. I'm trying to see if, like, in the past week and a half or so, Spirit says, we're showing you something that you are. Did you see it? Did you see it? How did you react from your ego, or did you see it as we see it? As we, meaning Spirit. Are you seeing it from the a higher realm? And I keep asking myself, oh, wait a minute. A lot of interesting things happen. Some that would be considered good, some would be neutral, some bad. I don't know. Lots of stuff. We have the world is filled with events. And I think for me, the balance is that 3 in the middle and the ones on either side. I'm starting to see the picture, the painting it a little more clearly for me as we speak. This balance of 3 into 1 and holding the center line and allowing these things to pass through. Now, for me, numerologically, the number 3 tends to remind me of the Christ consciousness energy. And when we have the 1, which is the beginner, initiator, beginning, creator, and another one on the other side, and they're coming together in this, creating a 3. So 1 + 1 equaling 3. I don't know. I'm just tossing the idea out so we can mull it over here. Says, well, what's my job here? Maybe my job is maybe I get to the opportunity to hold these creations, let them come into me, and turn them into something greater, something the divine sees as more worthy than my ego would even recognize in the moment. That's what's popping in. Sorry, painting a picture here is all. It's just showing me pictures.
Danielle is signing off. Bye, Danielle.
Bye, Danielle.
Thank you for watching and participating.
Sherry says that she's a 3 in numerology. Sherry, so am I.
Yeah, and I call it numberology.
Yes.
I'm a 7. Erron, what are you, Darren?
6.
That's right. You're a nurturer. You're
Yep.
a parent.
A parent, yes. I'm apparently here
in so many ways. And you guide people. You're a guider.
Yeah.
You guide people.
Yeah. There's I agree with
I'm
that.
a weepy spiritual number. And I'm, which makes sense that I'm as empathic as I am. And I feel everybody. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're doing. Erron and I have what we call, we pick up on what's going on with each other on some days. I call it a hit.
Yeah.
And I'll text him. I go, okay, I just got a hit from you. What happened? Oh, this just happened. And he'll say, oh yeah, I felt you today.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea of practicing telepathy. A lot of people think that's something of, I don't know, too woo, but it happens naturally. Mothers have that with their babies, with their children. You hear your mom, she's washing dishes and she knows where you are. How could she know? Nowadays we can say, well, she's guessing, but she knows when you're doing something you shouldn't be doing too. So that's always an amazing thing to me. There are, of course, stories of, and matter of fact, I saw a little video last night of a kid who was born in 2005, who, by the time he was 3 years old, was saying he was in one of the Twin Towers going down. And I thought, wow, that's a powerful one. Okay. I think it was on YouTube, I think.
Wow.
He had taken it he was an early walker, like at 2 months old, he's getting up and going, trying to walk, trying to crawl and walk. He was speaking, and by the age of 3 years old, he was having adult conversations. And he would say that he would describe falling, the falling and then the rubble hitting him. And something that a 3 or 4 year old, we would say, should never experience. But see, it's these kind of things that always remind me, wait a minute, there's a lot more going on here than me sitting in front of a TV, watching whatever while I eat a little snack. There's a lot more going on at all times. And I'm actually part of it. I'm witness to it. By witnessing it, I'm also, there's an opinion or some sort of observation that goes
internalization of some sort. Yeah.
Then adds to the that's another ingredient in the mix. And all of these are, I'm reminding myself now, all of these are opportunities for me to align all of that into that I'll say Christ consciousness energy, but we can say higher self. The rune said it when I read the interpretation from the rune. It's the communication between all the realms, between the higher self, the ego self, the survival self, the all aspects of our physicality and non-physicality that we can think of, our lineage. It's that communication. And in this, it was so fun listening to Kassira remind me of what karma is last night on our conversation. And I'll ask you to remind me of the meaning of karma, Kassira.
Well, in my book, I liken karma to energy in general. Energy equals karma, and vice versa. We allegedly create our karma with our thoughts, words, and actions. I added on beliefs and something else that's not coming to my mind yet. Yet, everything we do and say and believe and think, it contributes to our karmic bank account. It's cause and effect.
Right.
Whatever causes we make, silently, verbally, physically, emotion, in our brains with our thought processes, creates our karma.
It's the boomerang effect.
Well, the thing that rang my bell, the specific definition I think you channeled through, maybe that's why it's not coming, I surprised you, is you said it's past, present, and future happening at this moment.
Yes. Well, I was going to say this moon is calling us to look at our past, present, and future at once, because the present is the past and the present is the future. The present is the only moment that exists. The present creates the past and the future.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that. Next Sunday, when I'm doing my concert, I'm singing as my closing song is "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." And the verse, which of course is that of the movie, is Christmas future is far away.
Yeah.
Christmas past is past. Christmas present is here today, bringing joy that will last. And it's that whole idea that you're talking about of the past, the present, and the future. And I think this time of year, more than any other time of year, that happens for all of us on a regular basis.
Well, I think this way 365. So, for me, it's not anything special. And of course, I don't really, people call me a Buddhist Christian or a Christian Buddhist. I practice Buddhism and was raised in several different Christian denominations. And I can put the two together and have it make sense for me. So a lot of people, I understand, don't. There are, for instance, I have met a lot of Episcopalian priests that practice Buddhism. Interesting, isn't it? So for me, it's really about, I observe Christmas. I don't practice it. I don't practice it as a Christian, I have to say. Yet I respect all of my friends who do. My parents do. My family does. For me, it's it's a fun time of the year for lights and food, and the Druids the Christmas tree came from the Druids, as did the idea of the egg and the bunny and the butterfly. It originally came from the Druids, and it was adopted. Hope I don't get myself in trouble here. But the Druids were the Christmas tree people. They were the ones that they used to put candles and all kinds of things on trees outside as part of the Noel experience. And they burned white candles for Noel. That was the candle color, was Noel. And it was, hunkering down, honoring Father Winter, honoring the time that they had together. And then when spring came, we got, we got Oster, which is Easter, and all the fun little things with them as well. So so this time of year was traditionally in the beginning Noel, and which is where the Yule log came from, or Yule, which is where the Yule log came from. Yeah. Just in case you might want to know that stuff.
Interesting stuff. Yeah. I see Sherry says that my time capsule program travels past, present, and future, and you do readings with it. Wow, that'd be interesting.
I'd love to know more about that.
Yeah.
Sure, we should have it. Sherry, you should come on.
I'd ask her, Sherry, I'd love for you to come on.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Guys, Sherry,
yes, Ray, we can learn a lot from Druids. Well, they kind of were the beginning. Well, as we know it, they set a lot of traditions which the Christian Church observes now. The maypole and the May and spring and Noel and such. I have Thursday free, and on Thursday I will be, or I might do it tomorrow before the full moon hits. I'm going to challenge myself to journal a little bit about the last year and reflect on the accomplishments, what I feel was accomplished, and how I'd like to, what my determinations and my intentions are for the next year. What about you guys?
Yeah, I agree. That has been coming up for me to start jotting it down. Otherwise,
I started finding a list of 100 things that I love about this past year. My accomplishments.
Very nice.
No, but but yesterday Danielle was on the show and we talked about this, and she said something, that I will put out there as well, that no one needs to put a number on it, because putting a number on it will overcommit yourselves.
Yes.
Not myself, Kasira. But for me, that number of 100 things is giving me a goal to move towards, and I've started now rather than wait, and I write them down as they pop into my head.
How about 131?
Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
Ooh.
I'm going to do it. You've just challenged me.
I'm picking 7. That's it. That's all I can do.
And I'm still having goose pimples because, the fact that 20 years of my life was devoted to celebrating Carol Channing, that I never thought about and the number 5 resonates with me on many, many levels. It's the number that is constantly popping up for me. And tomorrow in numerology is a 5.
It's a number of change.
Yes.
Basically, there's a lot of things that the numbers represent, but it is a number of change. Okay, so Alan, thank you for saying that. I feel another amazing meditation coming on. Well, it's time.
Yes.
Can we sit together for a minute, guys?
Yeah.
Can we take a deep breath? Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Erron.
Thank you.
Let's take a deep breath together. You guys can refrain from chatting with each other. That'd be great. I'd really like for us to just hang here for a minute with our intention. So we just talked about deep breath, blow out. Thinking about reflecting on the last year of our lives I'm going to say this, without judgment. It's just writing down facts What'd you do this past year? What were you happy with? What were you not so happy with? And if you have my book, you can use one of the affirmative prayers in the back of the book to let go of the things you weren't happy about. Let them go. Don't tell the stories anymore. Don't perpetuate the negativity. Let them go. And do yourself a favor, leave yourself with positive memories of the last year and all the good stuff you think you co-created with others in higher consciousness. One more deep breath. Imagine the energy coming in from the universe through your crown chakra, that beautiful white, golden, sparkly light coming down into your body through your prana, coming in through your third eye, your ajnu, your beautiful periwinkle third eye, down through the back of your throat, the back of your neck, your perineal gland, through your heart chakra. It's a beautiful green, but there's a little pink heart in it that lights up when you activate that. Coming down through your tummy, that's your yellow chakra, where your child lives. Going down through your sacral chakra, which is your sexual chakra, it's bright orange. I see it as kind of an orange, kind of a brick red orange. And then going down through the anal chakra, your grounding chakra, which a lot of people see as red. I see it as black as well, and brown. That light has gone through your prana and down through your feet, back out into the universe. It is traveling up and down through your body, up and down through your body. And as you sit in this prana tube of light, allow yourself to wrap up the year for yourself and to make intentions and determinations and really look at what you think you'd like to accomplish this coming year. No pressure, no judgment. What would you like to see occur in your life this year? What would you like to co-create with others in higher consciousness? Who do you think is going to be on board? And if you don't have them yet, it's fine. You will attract them. Sit in that for a moment. Erron, would you like to do your singing bell? Sit in that for a moment. Just sit in what you desire and require. Feel yourself coming back into your body. Your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Take one more nice big deep breath. Take this intention with you from this moment going forward. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for experimenting with us. I wish you a lovely week and, more than anything, a wonderful, wonderful, self-reflective Noel moon. See you next time. Thank you.